Hello, boys and girls, this is Unnatural, of course, and welcome to Crysis 3, the new big shooter coming out in just a couple of weeks. Got the open beta right here, downloaded it because a lot of you guys requested it, and I've tried it out for a couple of hours, and I'm gonna give you guys a decent first impression, what I kind of think they should fix until a game gets released, and so on and so on. And as usual, this is beta, so it does not represent the final product of Crysis 3. It's more of a hint of what the game will be, so the things I complain about might very well already be fixed or is about to get fixed. So we can start with some of the small stuff. One small thing that kind of is bugging me right now is that even though you turn motion blur off, you still get a lot of motion blur when moving quickly, and that is freaking annoying. I mean, I have a good monitor, I got good graphics cards, and as you can see I'm running steadily at 100 to 200 FPS, and I'm recording steadily at 59 to 60 FPS. It hardly drops any lower than 58 as the recording, so to say. So the game works really well, that's for sure when it comes to that, but I don't really like the motion blur. I mean, like, if you turn motion blur off, motion blur should be off. Another little problem is that I've been finding that a lot of the time I see an enemy maybe looking at the other direction or shooting way somewhere, shooting someone else than me, but really they're shooting at me, and I get killed, and I see on the kill cam that, oh, okay, it looked on my screen like he was aiming to the left, but on his screen he was actually aiming and shooting at me, and I wasn't even taking damage, and for some reason he got me anyways, and this is something that's extremely annoying. This might very well be due to the net coding, as you say. Net coding is basically how they code the game to work in multiplayer when it comes to connecting computers, sending the information to one computer to the other, like, so these guys know that I'm running this direction and I know where they're running and what they're doing. And if you don't get that if you don't get that exactly right, you're gonna have those kinds of problems where on his screen here it shows that he's shooting at me, but on my screen, for example, it might show that he's shooting somewhere else, and that is extremely annoying if you play a lot of FPS games. And if you play the FPS games, for example, like Counter-Strike, where the net coding is prestige, it's like excellent. You can't get it any better than like Counter-Strike, for example, because you see exactly what the enemy is doing when you're looking at him. If you see him shooting to the left of you, he is really shooting to the left of you. But I want to make sure to also mention that the servers I've been playing on, I've been having a good ping between 50 to 70, completely decent ping, not super good, but it should work good. But out of every server I've been able to find and play on where I have a good ping, there's always been a couple of douchebags that has like 100, 200, or as much as 600 ping, and this might affect the game very poorly in the way that the netcode looks to be broken, but it actually isn't. So I just want to point that out, that the netcode might very well be working very good. It's just the problem that it's trying to compensate for people with very bad ping, and the problem is really that the people are stupid and should try to play on a server that is based in their fucking country instead of playing on a server that's based the other side on the world, or just stop downloading their midget porn. Yeah, that's about it. Because don't download midget porn when you're playing multiplayer games. It's never good. You're gonna lag the server, and you're gonna lag yourself. Another problem I've kind of noticed is that you drop frames, actually. If you're very close to an enemy and shoot him in the face with your shotgun, you quickly, just like for a millisecond, you drop a lot of frames and then it goes back up again. This is of course an optimization problem that has to do with, I would guess, the particle effects and the effects overall. And my PC is pretty beastly, as you can see. I'm running the game on, I'm using, I think, 720p resolution and about medium graphic settings. As you can see, I'm running 100 to 200 FPS all the time, but still that happens. And now we kind of go to the good stuff, because that's actually that's the only things I actually have to complain about the game right now. And one of the things, as I said, might just be idiots who play on a server where they actually have bad ping. And you could see that there, for example. I was about to hit him, but he was actually shooting me way before I was even close, so it's kind of like weird, or maybe it didn't show that good in that kills cam. But anyways, screw that. The game is extremely well balanced when it comes to the performance of the game. It's very good optimized. That's what I meant to say. The game is optimized really nicely. As I said, I'm recording here 60 frames a second whilst I'm playing on 720p medium resolution or medium graphic settings, and the game is running excellent. I mean, 100 to 200 FPS. That's more than you actually need. I just choose to put it here just to make sure that everything else, because if I know the FPS is good, I know that it's the net coding and stuff like that, or people that's lagging when I actually don't get kills. If I run it on a very high graphic settings where I have low FPS, that's of course gonna make me lag, and I'm gonna have a harder time playing the game and figure out what works and not works. But I gotta say that if you have a very bad PC, you're probably gonna be able to play this anyways, as long as you play it on 720p medium or low graphics, maybe very low graphics or something like that. I think you would still be able to play it and get 30 to maybe 40-50 FPS, maybe even more depending on how bad your PC is or how good it is. If you have a medium good PC, like a decent PC, you're most probably going to be able to play it on the exact resolution and graphic settings that I'm playing it on right now, and still get like 60, 70, or maybe even up to like 80 FPS, because remember, I'm recording at the same time, so that's also affecting the FPS a little bit. It's not much, but it's some. And if you have a very good PC like me, or even better than me, you're going to be able to play it on, for example, 1080p and high settings, or very high, or maybe even extreme, and still have 60 FPS or even up to 100 all the time, and just enjoy the shit out of this game, because it looks beautiful. It looks extremely beautiful. Another thing I really enjoy about the game so far, I mean, sure, it's still beta, but it is very quick. It is the combat and everything feels very fluently. You can jump up on top of buildings, on planes, you can jump over people, you can do the air smash. I mean, like, overall, it doesn't feel like you're some big fat dude that can't fucking run. It feels like you're a quick fucking warrior that its only job is to kill fucking people, and it is extremely satisfying to just run around meleeing people and shooting them in the back with the shotgun, just to jump up to another floor in another level, regen your health and reload, and then just jump down in the fight again. It is kind of like, I don't know, no, I wouldn't really say Quake, because I would say Quake is way more, a lot quicker, but maybe like Unreal Tournament or something like that. It kind of reminds me of Unreal Tournament a little bit. And with all of the weapons, that's also a very good thing. I mean, the game is very fast-paced and it runs very well. It's very well optimized and well polished when it comes to that. But the guns and stuff like that also is extremely fun and satisfying. I mean, like, it's such a good feeling when you see your shotgun like having a really big recoil, like you're like boom, boom. I don't know, I'm making stupid ass noises here. But when actually, like, you see that the gun you're shooting is powerful, and if the gun you're shooting is quick firing but not very powerful, it just spits out the bullets and just sounds like a bat out of hell and stuff like that instead. That's also very rewarding. And the guns there's a ton of guns, there's a ton of perks, there's a ton of skills, and there's a ton of attachments to the guns, and that is always good. Whatever game it is you're playing, it's always nice to have a lot to choose from and a lot to unlock, because that means you're gonna have a lot longer enjoyment of the game, simply because you're gonna play the game for a longer time, because you can unlock a lot of weapons and still enjoy it. Even though maybe you kind of hit your skill ceiling, you still can unlock new skills and guns, and that's of course going to make the game fun. As you can see here, I quickly jump down to the enemy, throw a flash grenade, then jump up to a floor when they're kind of stunned and out of it, and when they're busy shooting the friendlies, I go in and do a little bit of melee and close quarters shotgunning, and as soon as I'm kind of done, I quickly go away a little bit and reload my shotgun again. So it definitely is fucking fast-paced. As I said, there's another game mode in this beta. I'm gonna see if I can't upload a video of that too, if you guys liked watching this, because then you play as either 1 out of 10 cell operatives, that's basically normal dudes with no nano armor, or you play as 2 nano armor dudes that's job is to hunt down the cell operatives, the normal humans, and kill them. Every time you kill a human, that human becomes one of you, so it's basically kind of like you and your zombie buddy has to convert every normal person into other zombies. It's kind of like that. You have to infect them, and that's also something I enjoy. So it's very scary. It's not as fast-paced and actiony, but you get scared and you want to hide in corners, and you hear a proximity alarm going off like beep 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 beep, and you're like, oh my fucking god, it's close to me! Oh, save me, God, please save me! So that's also very enjoying. Doesn't make for as much action, so I didn't include that in this video, but I might show some of that as well if you guys want to. As usual, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.